Hello, future engineers. In this video, we are going to be drawing part 3, the wheel inside of the train project. We're going to be doing this inside of OnShape. My past two videos on the train body and the stack go a little bit more into the OnShape commands, but you should be able to follow along, and I'm going to point out the important things about using OnShape as we go. So for this one, what we're going to be doing, we are going to draw a pretty simple shape. It's going to be a shape that looks like this. It's got some rounded edges, goes around and right here, and we are going to revolve this again around our center axis so it's extruded in 360 degrees, and then we are going to subtract out this hole, and finally we'll subtract out these repeated patterns. And I shouldn't have said finally, because we also will need to add on this component over here. So I am going to erase some of this just so we can get started and focus in just on creating this face right here. So to start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a circle. Let me change this up just a little bit. I'm going to take a circle right over here that has this radius or a diameter of 0.25, and I'm going to place that 1 inch, or this dimension, from my center axis. So let's start over there. Oh, I'm going to hit create a new document, and this one is just going to be called wheel. Click OK. All right, and now I'm going to hit the pencil icon to start a sketch, and I'm going to choose the top face to start a sketch on. 2-finger touch on the screen to view normal to plane, and now I'm going to take a circle and draw it around that axis and give this a dimension. So back into the sketching tools, choose dimension, and I want to just click on the circle over there, tap once, and this should have a diameter of 0.25. I'm again going to 2-finger tap just to view normal to the sketch plane. It's off from the center. I still have my dimension tool, so I'm going to select the origin, and I'm going to press and hold so I can select the center, and this should be a distance of 1. Cool. Let's go and double check what we need to do next. Next, we can just draw and connect our lines over here, but we're going to need to eventually draw in our edges that are going to be defined by these over here before we start adding some radii to that. Cool. So, gotta do the 2-finger touch to view normal again. Let's go and grab our line tool. For this one, I'm going to start at the edge over here and just draw a line back. Then draw this up and across over here. Cool. Let's get into some constraints to really get this right. One, we're going to start with our tangent constraint, and I'm now just remembering that in OnShape you have to select the lines that you want first. So I'm going to select that line and make sure that those are tangent. Do the same thing over here. So select the line and the circular surface and hit tangent. That one might need another dimension. Let's make them parallel between these two lines. We'll make those parallel. Cool. And now we are fully constrained, but we wanted to add in some lines. I'm going to draw in 2 lines spaced out over here. Oop, I do not want to do that one. We'll grab the line tool again. Cool. And these lines, we have a distance. The first one from the center, if I recall correctly, is a distance. Select the line tool, gosh dang it, or the dimension tool. There we go. All right, so that line to our center axis, that should be a distance of 0.25. And then again, this line to our center axis should be a distance of 0.75, so 0.750. Cool. I'm going to grab my line tool, and because I know this is directly along the center, I can draw a line straight across right here. It grabs the dimensions. You can see it's fully constrained. That is this dimension right here, the 0.125, 1/8 of an inch, which is half of the thickness or diameter of the circle that we drew. That's creating this line right over here. Cool. So now let's get back in here and we can trim up the parts that we don't need. So I'm going to go into my sketching tools, grab my trim command and trim out just by tapping on the parts of the lines I don't want. And that circle feature over there. Cool. So we can add our radius. That is that general radius dimension. That is right here. A radius typical of 0.063. That's what the schematic says. I know that's very blurry. But that is the dimension that we need. We can add that in 2D or in 3D. It doesn't matter. I'm going to add it in 2D over here. So I'm going to go into my dimension tools. I'm going to grab sketch fillet. I need to just get rid of that. Click on these two. Oh, let's see. Do we have the... It's been a while since I've used the fillet command here. All right, sketch fillet. Grab these two lines. All right, we'll do it in 3D. I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm going to go to my extrude tool, choose revolve, choose this face, scroll down so I can select the axis. That axis is going to be this center point over here. Click the check mark. Do a two-finger touch so I can view the isometric. And I'm going to turn off all my planes and origins by hitting the eyeballs because we don't need them anymore. Now let's see if we can do that fillet inside of the 3D space. That might be a little bit easier. So I choose the 3D commands, and I'm going to go over to fillet, choose this edge. That radius is way too big, 0.0625, actually it's 6.3. Cool. We're going to select that. This also needs that fillet, I believe. This needs that fillet, and this needs that fillet. Nope, it's not going to let us do those. Let's double check what fillets we need. Yeah, it looks like we have the 0.625 fillet of 0.063 over here and over there. Looks like all those are filleted. I'm going to erase this just so we can see a little bit better. Yeah, those are all rounded. Maybe I punched it in wrong. Maybe I made the fillet too big. Let's see. Go back into the wheel. 3D model commands. Do our fillet tool. Choose this edge over here. Again, 0.063. The green check. I'm going to finish that fillet and then choose another fillet. There we go. Now it's working. I just have to do them one at a time. Unless it automatically defaults to that 0.2. It does. That's why we're getting those errors. 0.63. Cool. I'm going to grab this one. 0.063. Grab the fillet command one last time. Do the 0.063. All right, cool. So now we have this rounded wheel. I know that was a little confusing, but we just want to grab the edge that we want, choose fillet, and then make sure that it is set to that 0.063. So we should have 4 fillets applied to the wheel. Now what we're going to do, we're going to hit our Start 2D sketch, and we're going to draw a sketch right on this face over here. I'm going to do a two-finger touch to view normal to the plane. Now what we have this kind of angled face over here. You can see that the first line, we're going to draw some reference lines. This line is going to be 15 degrees, or 15 degrees between this line over here, then 30 degrees and 30 degrees. We're going to draw all those lines in, and then we'll draw in this circle and these radii over here. Or actually, no, we're not drawing in this circle. Erase this. We're drawing in this radii and this radii so that we can create this shape and then repeat it a bunch. So let's go over here, back to the wheel. I've made a sketch. There we go, sketch 2. Let's edit this sketch and view normal to sketch plane. Cool. I'm going to go over to my lines, And I'm going to turn this one into a construction line. I'm going to start this right at the center. I'm going to draw this straight out over here. Cool. That's going to be our reference, so that's where we can make that 15 degrees. Our next lines, I turned off construction, and I am going to draw in a line over here. Stop chaining them together. Grab another line, draw this one up over here. Cool. Now inside of my dimensions, it's not important the distance or the length of the lines. What is important is the angle. So this one should be 15 degrees, and then our distance between these two lines, this should be 30 degrees. Cool. That gives us some solid lines. You can see that their endpoints are still blue and undefined because we have the angle, but we don't have the location of that endpoint, but we never need that, which is pretty cool. So now let's go into our sketch commands. We're going to take a circle with a center point, and we're going to draw out a circle right here. This circle, if we look at this, this is a smaller circular dimension. It's got a 0.37 for its radius, so we're going to double that for its diameter. So we're going to draw that circle. I'm also going to draw the other circle while I have my circle command in here. I'm going to try and draw that on offset so it's not on other lines. Cool. We're going to draw in our dimension. So this one had that radius of 0.375. We can, and I want to point this out, you can go into our keyboard and then we can type in 0.37 multiplied by 2 and throw that in. We get 70.4. We can do the same thing over here. So we select that line, go over to the diameter. Let's double check. This is 0.63. So if we double that, that's 1.2, 1.26. Cool. So that's 1.26. All right. Now, all that I actually need is that little pizza slice shape. So I'm going to go grab my trim tool, and I'm going to trim out the parts of the lines that I do not need. Cool. So now I just have this floating shape right here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, what is easier, to do a repeat inside of the sketch? Yeah, we got a circular pattern right here. Why not? Let's do that. Let's repeat it inside of the sketch and we'll extrude it all as one sketch. So we're going to choose circular pattern. And with that, we need to select entities first. So I'm going to go and select all the lines that I have over here. Oh, it's already doing the circular pattern. That's pretty cool. Where can I make the difference with them? Oh, I see. Okay. So once I have all those lines selected, I've got this 3 over here. We want 6 of them, and they're going to be equally spaced. So I'm going to hit the green check. And there we go. We've got 6 of these repeated objects. So what I had to do was go into my sketch tools, select that circular pattern option over here, select the feature that I wanted to pattern, which were those lines that I created, and then change up here whatever number I wanted it to be. So I wanted 6 of them. Oh, did I accidentally just change something? I did. I'm going to go back. We'll do it again anyways. So I'm going to hit trim, grab out that last part of the line that I don't need, and then I'm going to go over to that circular pattern. I have to select the entities that I want, and then change this. Oop. Come on. I want to select that line. Nope. Select that line. There we go. I want to change this to 6. Hit the green check. Check that. Nope. It didn't do it. Oh boy. Didn't want this to be as long of a video as it was going to be. Alright, let's try this one last time. Alright, circular pattern. 6 of them. Check. Just tap off to the side. There we go. Perfect. They're going to be blue. They're unconstrained. I'm unconcerned with that. We're going to hit our check to finish this sketch. Then I'm going to go back to my isometric and hit my 3D commands so I can extrude all of those faces. I'm going to choose all of the faces that I want to extrude over here, And we're going to drag them through and change our operation from add to remove. And we'll hit our check. Then I'm going to go back to my isometric view. Wow, look at that. We are so close. All right, let's draw that hole in the center. That hole in the center is a 0.28 through hole. So we're going to go over to OnShape, choose my sketch command, choose this face to draw on. I'm going to view normal and grab a circle with a center point, draw that out, grab my dimension, choose that. Oop, didn't want to choose that. Wanted to choose, oh boy, I'm rushing it. Go to the center, drag this out, go over to dimension, choose this outside edge, choose the numbers and do 0.28. We'll finish sketch, choose my extrude, click go over here. We're going to change this to remove and end type blind. That's totally fine. Opposite direction, 1 inch is going to be more than enough to extrude all the way through. Cool. So the last thing that we need to do is we need to add on this guy over here. So this circle is located 0.7 from our center. So we're going to start a sketch and draw a circle that is 0.7, dimension it, and then we can draw in this extrusion over here. So I am going to go back to my drawing, and I am going to, where do I need to start this sketch? Oh, it extrudes it out from the surface, so I'm just going to start it on that surface. We'll start 2D sketch, choose this surface, view normal, and grab my circle. I'm going to place a circle along this axis over here. I'm going to try and have it not snap to anything. Then let's throw in a dimension. Its distance from its center point to our center over here. I'm going to hover over. Oh, it's not going to allow me to choose that. I'll turn on the origin again. There we go. So I just scrolled up and hit the eye next to the origin so that I can have a reference to dimension 2. There we go. This distance, come on. Let me edit that distance. Shoot. This is a rough tutorial. Oh well. Center point. Drag it along over here. Make sure not to snap to anything. That looks better. We're going to grab our dimension tool. Grow from the center over here. Turn on my origin so I can reference that. It should be a distance of 0.7 from the origin. Cool. And now let's throw in the dimension, the diameter of this hole over here. That should be, or that, not a hole necessarily, that should be 0.25. 0.25. So let's choose that, 0.25. Cool. I'm going to finish sketch, go back to my isometric, extrude that face that I just created, not that one. Extrude, hover over. It's only letting me select one of them because it's hidden. Oh, you punk OnShape, you. Let me to view normal. All right, let's see if we can go to extrusion, and we're going to choose extrude, and I'm going to go and I'm going to choose sketch 4. Is that going to allow me to do it? Go over to my isometric view. Yeah, that's how we're going to do it. All right, so how we figure it out. We choose our extrude command. That's this guy up here. And when we have that selected, we go to our model tree over here and choose sketch 4, and it's going to allow us to select the whole thing. All right, that is going to be extruded out a distance of 0.25. So our depth is 0.25 Finish that up and hit check. Go back to isometric. I was at isometric. I'm going to start a sketch on this face over here. Go view normal to plane. Let's grab a circle again. We're going to start at the center over here. Drag that out. Now we're going to dimension this guy right over here. This should be 0.125. Then go to my isometric view so that when I finish this and I hit extrude, I'm going to do the same thing and just select sketch 5. This one we do not want to extrude a depth of 1 inch. We're doing 0.125. We'll click the check. And now we have to add this hole that is 0.0625 and has a depth of 0.25. So let's do one last sketch. Right here on the center. View normal to sketch plane. Grab my circle with a center point. Start over here, drag this out. We're going to choose dimension. Dimension this line at 0.0625. Check. Go back to my isometric view. Hit the check mark. And extrude sketch 6. This time we are choosing to remove. And we want our end type, or no, we want our depth to be a distance of 0.25. Throw that in. Hit the check. And let's see how we did. We're going to go over to volume. And we're going to choose part 1. We got 0.696. If I go over here, our expected dimension is 0.696. All right. I know that one was a little rough. There was some OnShape commands that I didn't think they worked that way. They didn't work the same as Inventor, but we're able to figure them out. 3D modeling softwares are so similar to each other that once you learn one, you know about 90% of the others. So I'm glad you're getting this experience. Anyways, if you have any questions, reach out. Talk to you later.